3 minutes is granted to the gentlelady from Michigan.
Thank you, and I certainly thank the gentleman for yielding. And Mr. Speaker, how amazing, quite amazing that we just heard this testimony and these remarks from our colleague from Louisiana, Representative Chow. I don't know if he's left the floor, but if there's any reason for our colleagues to support this resolution, it's by the words that he just spoke. What an unbelievable story he told. His father, he is a Vietnamese American, his father in 7 years in a re-education camp in Vietnam, and here he is as a result of our men and women fighting for freedom and democracy and liberty. That is certainly a vivid demonstration of why we need to pass this resolution today, and I certainly support Resolution 234, which will designate a Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day. My district in Macomb County, Michigan is actually home to, I think, one of, if not the largest chapter of Vietnam veterans, Chapter 154, in the entire nation. My husband, a very proud Vietnam veteran, he actually flew F-102s with the 509th Fighter Interceptor Group from air bases in both Da Nang and Saigon. These veterans served our nation faithfully and with distinction and honor, but to our everlasting shame, they received a horrible homecoming. One of the saddest times, Mr. Speaker, in American history was the way that we treated our Vietnam veterans when they returned home from combat. Caught in the crossfire of the debate on the war in our nation, they came home to taunts, insults, and worse. These brave men and women, these great war fighters, these great patriots, these great Americans, they answered our nation's call to fight, and they fought, they bled, and they died in the service of our country. And not only did they have to bear the physical and psychological wounds of warfare, Mr. Speaker, but our nation did not recognize them as the heroes that they were, that they are. There were no parades and no yellow ribbons and no thanks for serving when our nation asked them to do so, and they stepped forward to defend freedom and liberty and democracy. These men and women deserved better, Mr. Speaker, and although it has taken many years to rectify the injustice some of our fellow citizens visited upon our Vietnam veterans, today we can honor them, and we should, with a day to welcome them home properly. In fact, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial here in Washington is one of the most visited memorials. This wall stands as a reminder that 58,000 of our fellow countrymen paid the ultimate price, and we must never forget them. We owe our nation's veterans a debt that can never be fully repaid, but we want to thank them for their service and their sacrifice on behalf of our great nation, and all of us will continue to work the halls of Congress to ensure that our veterans get the care, the help, the recognition, and the benefits that they so richly deserve. I know that I have an MIA POW flag hanging right outside the door of my congressional office, and if you walk up and down the halls of Congress, you'll see many, many others displayed here as well. We can never forget. And I would encourage every community in America to observe the Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day so that we never forget our veterans' bravery and courage and sacrifice. And today, let me say, welcome home. I ask all of my colleagues to support this resolution. I yield back.
Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Illinois.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Jackson Lee.
2 minutes is granted to the gentlelady from Texas.
Speaker.
So granted.
Let me thank the gentlelady for her leadership and appreciate my good friend and colleague, Congresswoman Sanchez, and the manager of this bill for your great leadership as well.